Hi friends. To the modern mind, the story of the ascension of Jesus into heaven can seem a bit odd, this physical ascent of Jesus through the clouds. The story cries out to be understood in a more theological manner. The ascension of Jesus is part of the central mystery that we call the Paschal mystery. The life, the crucifixion, the suffering, the death, the resurrection, and the ascension of Jesus into heaven. The ascension is not some quaint add-on, but it is a very significant part of the total Paschal mystery. And there's two very important understandings and convictions that flow from it that I would like to address with you today. First, in ascending to the right hand of God, everything that Jesus experienced as our brother who has shared our life on earth is taken up into the glory of heaven. The totality of all that he experienced and lived and loved on earth is taken into the fullness of divine reality. That means everything. Our great hopes and fears, what delights us, what terrifies us, our grief that we experience is forever transformed and embraced through Christ, the divine life of God. I find that tremendously consoling to know that what we experience, even the difficult parts, like our grief-filled love for those who die, is something that Jesus experienced and understands. Secondly, the conviction that comes forth in the reading today where the angel says to the disciples, "Why are you looking up into the sky?" The idea is that Jesus is still with us, just as he promised, "I will be with you always," but now in a new mode of his existence. And so we are to encounter Christ through, as St. Paul says in the second reading on the Feast of the Ascension, through the eyes of our heart. The believing, seeing vision of faith help us to encounter Christ in prayer, in the proclamation of the Scriptures, which is our identity document. Jesus is no longer to be encountered in a localized way, but through the sacraments of the Church, the works of justice, the pro-offering of mercy, just as Jesus did those actions in his life on earth. We are to continue them as his friends and disciples and make that experience of Jesus felt and known, because he is the Christ who fulfills all things in every way. You hear that siren going off now, and that's part of whatever the call is to, part of our human experience that Jesus wants us to also respond to. So this is the plan of the universe, the purposeful call to share in the very life and the presence of Christ. Our tradition teaches us that that call is given to everyone, not just specialists. We only have to listen to it. And anyone who will take the time to be silent and to listen to it will hear it in their hearts. And they'll respond to it by simply being open to it, cleansing our hearts and our minds of everything that is foreign to it, is purity of heart. Striving to remove obstacles that block that call is poverty of spirit. Nothing could be more congenial to our true nature as brothers of Christ and sons and daughters of God than responding to that call. Nothing could be more ordinary. So I know that in my own ongoing effort, which is certainly not always perfect, but something that I always return to, a striving to hear that call and respond to it. It gives a clear grounding in God's truth, in the values and the priorities of Jesus. And this helps me to have a certain solidity, a groundedness in responding to the world, to our fractious political environment in our nation, and in these challenging times in which we live. So keep at it. Keep striving to hear that call of Christ in your own life. Keep on keeping on. God bless you, and keep and spread the faith.